Good evening, welcome back. So this evening we're going to do obviously a couple unboxings, and we're going to talk a little bit about why I bought each one of these items here. So let's go ahead and just tear in to this one, see what we got here. So I still have not called or reached out to Dan or Steve yet at the loft to find out anything about the tribute builds, but I have been thinking about them and planning for them. So I only have one guitar, well, two guitar cases that are currently available. For use and to use for a guitar. So one of them is, boy, I didn't see that coming. One of them is that case right there, which is a Gibson hemp case, and it's a vintage case, so I don't want to use that on one of the new tribute builds. So I was tooling around looking at cases, and I stumbled onto this custom shop case, and I thought, that's a pretty good deal. So I snagged this so I can switch the caramel case with another guitar. So I have this caramel case that is new and unused. This one is another brand new case that I bought to go with the 50s Gibson standard humbucker one that I just built not that long ago. So I was going to put that in here for the time being. Wow, there's another latch. So there we go. Just like all the other ones, the custom historics, the custom shops, I've had a whole bunch of these, bunch of guitars that had these with it. Just really super nice case. So my plan was to go ahead and put this 50 standard in there that I built. If you guys are watching for the first time, I bought this husk empty off of Stratosphere, and I put Memphis historic spec humbuckers in it out of a Gibson 345. And it has honeybee, paper and oil, 0.22 microfarad caps in it. Not bumblebees, but honeybees. 300K linear taper pots, and it does have the Revolution locking tuners on it. So I just kind of bought a brand new guitar that was dissected and made it my own. So that is going to be its new home for right now. So now, with this having its new home, I have two caramel cases that will go with the two tribute builds, your guys' build and my build. So as soon as those get back from finish work, I'll have cases for it. Now, these two cases, this top one here is a Canadian case. Again, it's brand new, it's really nice. This one here is a made in Costa Rica caramel case. It's actually a couple steps nicer than the Canadian one. So we'll see which guitar turns out the best out of the two tributes, which one to get what case. But anyhow, that is the first thing that I picked up right there, was that custom shop case. I will have to transfer all the paperwork and everything out of that case into this one for the gold top. But I thought this was a pretty good score, so I snagged it. And like I said, it don't have to stand there just for the time being. Now the 50s has a case, and I can continue on with the two tribute builds. Haven't really decided what to do with this one yet. Like I said, it's a vintage case, so got to kind of have an older guitar in it. I kind of like to make things match and kind of look like they've been together. And that is where this purchase come along. And I got to tell you, kind of really bummed out about this purchase. And I'm hoping that this is a little nastier than it showed in the picture. So I got this in here for $129 with $49 shipping. I was really bummed out. I found a vintage one from the 80s, maybe early 90s, that was very well worn and used. And they wanted $199 for it with 50 shipping, or best offer. So dummy me decides to make an offer. I think it was $165 or something like that. And it sold within 2 hours after it got listed. So dumb me had to go and find another one. But I'm hoping that this will match the Tweed amplifier that I have. I hope it's grungy enough. I didn't want to get a brand spanking new one because it's so bright, loud, and in your face. And this one here also comes from Stratosphere, surprisingly, because most of their stuff is all brand new stuff, unless this just had a hard life as brand new, because there are lots of scuffs, nicks and dings around the edges, a few snags and scuff marks, a couple little tiny stains. So it's starting to get that aged look that I was wanting, because I have the Fender's Blues DeVille 2x12 over there. It's not a reissue, and I was hoping this will match it. So let me go over here and set it by it, and then I'll bring you guys over, take a look, and tell me what you think. I'll move that acoustic out of the way there. So I'll show you that, and then I'll get back to why I bought it. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, was to make a matching set. Now, it doesn't look that much different, but I guarantee you the early 80s or late 80s, early 90s one that I found for $200 probably would have matched a little better, because it was older material like this is. So this is actually a little lighter, but I think they got about the same kind of grunge on them. So at least got that going for it. But I did save some money buying that one, so I can't complain that I didn't buy a $200 dirty one when it's the same exact thing. So the whole reason that I purchased this, let's go ahead and take a look inside of it real quick. So it does have a little Fender logo on it. Wonder if it has a key in it. All right, so it is a G&G, original vintage case, made in USA. Here's your little snap for your lid. No key, no case candy, nothing like that. But doesn't look like the lid wants to stay open very well either. Maybe that's why it was 129 bucks. Who knows? But the whole reason I bought this thing was for my Stratocaster. This is a 1984 Dan Smith 2-knob Stratocaster. It does have tremolo springs, but they're under the pick guard. It is like a hardtail. It does not have any string throughs, no tremolo spring route or nothing like that on the back of it. So it's actually really rare. They made it in 83 and 84. I had to find an original one that somebody didn't need anymore, and that was 160 bucks on Reverb because they do not reproduce it. So I bought this for this to match that amp, because those are my keepers for sure. I'm going to keep that guitar, a case. I may find another one that matches it better down the road, but for right now, this is what I'm going for. Nice vintage Strat, vintage tweed case to match the vintage Blues DeVille 2x12 amp. So the whole reason that, I don't know what to do with this one, but the whole reason that I bought that was because the original case just blows. I know some people like these, and I see them up for sale and they pull good money. I'm going to put it up for sale, I think. I don't think I'm going to hang on to it, but it only has 2 out of the 3 latches left. I did have to fix the hinges on it, but I did get them to work again. And the inside is clean despite it missing a little chunk there and right here, but the straps no longer work. I'm just kind of over that case, and I'm going to let somebody else that needs it, that originally went to a guitar like mine, and some people really want to keep their period correct cases, so I'll put this up real cheap because it's not in the greatest shape, and I'll go ahead and get rid of this. So if you're looking for that case, I'll put it up for sale here shortly. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to do there, is kind of make a little set out of it, you know what I mean? Vintage Strat, vintage amp, vintage case. I'd really wished I would have got the older one. I know I'd have paid more money for it and everything, but you guys, you should have seen it. I mean, it had a vibe to it. It wasn't just a dirty used case. I mean, it had a really cool vintage vibe to it. So Maybe this one will get there. Who knows? I don't travel enough with them to relic them, so. So that is it. We got our case problem solved for the 2 tribute builds when they come back. I got a new home for my Stratocaster, and we still have an extra case here. I'm still on the prowl looking for other projects, so maybe I'll find a vintage one and we'll have a case for it. Maybe not, I don't know. But stay tuned. A lot more projects coming up. Waiting on Lucille parts, waiting on the 2 tributes, still looking for another build, and we got plenty of other things around the shop, amplifier projects and whatnot to get to. So stay tuned. More videos will be coming out here very shortly. Thank you again, and don't forget to like and subscribe.